Everyone, we will be solving a problem from CSS Battle in this video. The main goal is to understand what CSS properties can be used to achieve this UI instead of aiming for the highest score. We want to understand like what CSS properties can be used, to when you see these challenges in real world scenarios when you are working on your projects. So it's better to understand like what kind of CSS properties we can use to get similar targets. And also this video is a part of CSS Battle playlist, so you guys can also check out other videos for more CSS Battle solutions. Without further ado, let's get started. So let's try to visualize the problem first. So what we have is we have a body, and this is with this particular background color, and there we have one container which is placed in the middle, and we have 4 items in that container. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Obviously, there are a lot of ways to solve this problem, but let's see this particular approach. Then we will get into a grid approach as well, and then a single div approach. But this is more of a generic solution. Also, the grid one is a nice one, but using a single div to do this, it's very limited to this problem. But yeah, let's get started. So let's say we have a div. We can have a class of container. And in this we have 2 rows basically. So we have a class of row, and then what we can do, we can have 2 items in this. So let's say we have a div, and we will name this, so we will give it a class, let's say item 1, right? And we can replicate this saying item 2. Now let's say we have a style. I think this is a good start for the HTML. We need to modify it later, but let's see. So for our body, we don't want to give a lot of stylings. It's just that background color is this one, and we can have a width of 400 pixel and a height of 300 pixel, right? 300 pixel. Now let's say it's height of 300 pixel. Now let's say for our row class, right? So before going to row, let's try to put this container in the center and also try to give it some height and width so that we can see this. So let's say container is of width 2 I think 200 pixel, and height is also 200 pixel. Also it's okay, like this is more of hit and trial method when you do all these kind of things, that we actually, I don't know like what is the correct width and height. In this case I am aware of it, like this is this container is supposed to be 200 pixel and 200 pixel, but you can do hit and trial, and you try to see, you can put 150, then see if it's very small, you can try to make it big. So that's the kind of thing that you can do. Now the container, I'll just make it white so that we can see that on screen, and I think I've misspelled this. So yeah, container. Now what we need to do, we need to position this absolute in the center. So let's say I'll do absolute. Now when I do absolute, I see this margin, but it's not gonna affect the output, because we are going to position this absolute. And how absolute positioning works, it is not going to consider the parent element if the parent element doesn't have relative or absolute positioning. So by default the positioning is static. So right now it's referring to the HTML element in the DOM. I hope that makes sense. Now let's say a pretty standard thing, we'll do top 50%, left of 50%, and then we'll try to do transform and translate to minus 50%, and minus 50%, right? So now we see that in the center. We will come back to this container later now, and let's try to style our rows. So we have a row, and we have item 1 as well, right? So for this item, let's try to give some styling, and then we can see it later. So I need the width to be 100 pixel and height to be 100 pixel, and if I'll give it a background, I should be able to see it in action. So this background, so this is what I see. But let's say if I try to style for item 2 as well, I need the same width and height. So I think it's a good idea if I just say row, and whatever div is coming inside the row, I need these dimensions. So I can just remove these dimensions from here and put it here. Now I'll do the same thing for background. All I need to do is just give it some color. So I think this is the color that I need. Now these are not coming side by side, so let's just give it a property of display flex, and now these are coming side by side. For the third item, what I can do is I can have one more row, and I can say item 3 and item 4. Now actually what I can do is either I can create one item 4, or let's try to create the item 4 and then see how we can in fact remove the item 4 and it's not gonna change anything for us. So let's say background is this color. So yeah, this is what we see, and for our item 4 I'll put the background color anyway. So let's say have a background of the same color which is of our body. So this is what I see right now. So now what I can do is, all I need to do is I need to shape the container as a circle. So for that I can say border radius can be 50%. Now when I do this, we don't see any change because these containers which are placed inside, these rows and items which are placed inside the container are actually flowing out of the container. So what I can do is I can just give it one property, let's say overflow, and I can say hidden. So now we see this, right? Now we see this. Now if you see, there is actually a border. So if I remove this, so there is actually a border here which is coming because we have given this background of white. So what I can do, I can try to give it the same background which I have for the body. So this background I can put here. Now I don't see that. Now let's see, because the background color of our container is exact match for the body container, we can have inherit. So we are using the same background which we have mentioned in the body. And then what I can do, I can in fact remove the fourth item because I don't need it, because it's very redundant to have same color background, same item and everything. So I can in fact remove it. Now what we are seeing here is actually the background color of the container. That's what we are seeing here. And in fact, if I remove this particular color from here, let's see, if I remove this, let's say this background color, then I still see the same thing here. I don't see any difference. So what I can do, I can in fact remove this background color and I would still see the same thing, because now it's transparent. There is no color there, so it's transparent. So that's why I am able to see the same thing there. So let's try to submit and see whether it's a match. So yeah, it's 100% match. So I think this is what we can achieve using overflow property and things like that. Now what I want to do is I want to explore one more approach which is I think sort of better than this one. It's a grid approach. What we can do to achieve that is, all we need is 3 items basically. So I'll name them accordingly. So this is top left, and this one is top right, and this one is bottom left, sorry. So this one is bottom left. For our body, I'll have the same thing, same dimensions. It's just I need to display this as flex, and I'll remove these stylings so that we don't have any confusion. So I will display this as flex, sorry, it's like we will want grid here, so I'll display this as grid. Now we want 2 columns, so we can use grid template columns, and we can give them same width. So this is auto, so we'll get 2 columns, both of them will have same width. And then what we can do, before putting more styles to our body, let's try to see these divs. So I'll create a div here. So I'll select the div element, and I'll just say width should be 100 pixel and height should be 100 pixel. Right? Still I don't see them because I need to give colors. So let's say top left is of this particular color. So let's say background is this, and yeah, I think this is all I need. And top left is there, and top right, and this has to be bottom left. So yeah, this is what I have. The second one is this color. So I'll do this, and for the last one I need this. So yeah, these are the items that I need with these particular colors. Now let's see. What I need now right now is I need to put them in center first. So for that I'll use justify content center. So all these have come in center, and now I want to put them vertically center as well. So for that I can use align content as center. So yeah, this is how it's coming now. Now all I need to do is I need to put a border radius on these. So let's say if I put a border radius here, then what I can have is I need to completely put border radius on the top left part of for this, the first item. So what I can do, 100% for the top left, and apart from that everything else can be 0. So this is what I'll get. Same thing I can do for the right one. It's just I need the 100% curve or the border radius for the top right. So I can put this as 0, and same thing for this one. I need the bottom left to be 0 to be 100%. So this is top left, top right, bottom right, bottom left. So 100%. So yeah, we get the same thing. Let's try to submit this. Okay, so this is not a match. Let's see what we are missing right now. So I'm not sure what exactly the difference is. Okay. So the height is a problem. I think if I'll say margin 0, then yeah, then it matches the height. So let's try to submit this. So yeah, it's a 100% match. All we needed was this margin. As I said, there is a default margin in body and all, so you need to clear that out before you get into styling. And any project that you will work, so there are a few properties which are given to every element. So you might have seen this select all, this asterisk, which means select all, and you just these styling, whatever you will write here is going to apply to all the elements. So you generally like margin 0, padding 0, and box sizing, border box and all, to nullify any other styling that you get. So I think this is one of the great approach. Now there is one more way, and it's mostly for CSS battles. It's just that using one div, what you can do is you can create a single div. You can position it here. So let's say first item is our single div, and then you can style the after and before elements to get this. Let me just code that quickly, and we will see. So I have a style. This is the single div that we need. For body, I'll do the same thing. So let's say width of 400 pixel, height of 300 pixel, and background can be this. Background is this. Now I don't want any margin. Not that is going to matter in this one because I'm going to position this absolute. But yeah, let's see what else do we need. Now I need to style my single div, and from there I'll start the styling the pseudo elements as well. So the width we have all figured out. It's 100 pixel, height is same 100 pixel, and yeah, background is again this color. And now what I want is I need to curve this as well, and I need to position this as well. So let's start with position. So absolute, and top is somewhere around let's say 50 pixel, and left is around 100 pixel. So yeah, this is what I get now. Now let's say border radius, and I can specify like this as well, a border top left radius to be 100% in this case. So yeah, this is what I get. Now all I need to do, I need to start styling my before and after. So before and after, so I'll have the same width, so 100% width, and height is also 100%. And I need to take care of like content as well, so that we can see it. Content and background color I won't give because it's specific to before and after. The position is absolute, that I can specify here. Position is absolute, and yeah, I think this is what I need. Now let's see what we have in the before. So div of before, and in this I need top to be at 0, and I only want to move the left one. So left can be 100%, and I'll put a background color of this. Yeah, so this is what I see. All I need border radius property. So border radius is border top right radius, and this property will have 100%. And yeah, I think for before I need this, and I need the same thing for after. It's just that like same properties but different values. So left is going to be the same, but it's going to move from the top. So top is 100%. The background color is this color, and it's supposed to be bottom left. So border bottom left radius is 100%. So yeah, we get this exact same thing with this also. So let's try to see. Yeah, so let's submit. So yeah, this is again 100% match. So this is also you can use, but I think you like understanding Overflow, like how Overflow works, because in complicated UIs you will get into issues where you know, some of your inner like child element is flowing out of the parent, and you need to figure out like how you can solve those kind of things. And sometimes you do need to give overflow and those sort of things in complicated UIs. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. In the next one we will be solving more problems on the CSS battle. So yeah, see you in the next one. Hope you liked it. Thank you for watching.